Since watching the Traitors Canada Season 2, one particular question kept rolling through my mind. We saw Magic Mike take the prize in Season 1, while Big Brother's Neda was victorious in Season 2. While both were traitors from the start, they had a very different way of playing the game. So did both sets of Fatefuls. So going into Season 3, I wondered if anything would be different, and would Season 3 finally be the season that the Fatefuls finally win in this edition? My question of would anything be different was very quickly answered, but it wasn't in the context I was going for. There were changes afoot. 22 players entered Korean's Manor with a mix of celebs and general public. Unlike previous years, the general public players were picked from open auditions as opposed to those that were invited or looking to be cast on another show. Would that make a difference? Who knows? At face value, it didn't to me, as everyone is mostly unknown to me. I usually only know the drag queens that are on the Canadian version, but apparently I forgot about Kitten because my brain couldn't remember. I recognise Hollywood J due to choreographing on Drag Race and Dom from The Mole, but I had to look up why I recognised Dom, as back then he had less hair on his head and face. At least there were a couple of players that were vaguely familiar. Before the players even got to the manor, we had a pretty big lie from one of the general public players involving someone with a pre-existing relationship. Meredith told those in her car that she was married to a man when in fact her wife is in the game. Canada Season 2 saw brother and sister, so would the two wives fare any better, and would they be on opposing teams? Every time they showed one of the women that were from the general public, I kept wondering if they were the wife. Then I asked myself if production would even tell us who. It didn't take long for Charla to appear and reveal all in her commentary. It would have been fun to guess who it was. A distraction, yes, but still fun. Maybe they could have kept it a secret from the viewers for at least an episode or more. The nighttime entrance for the players made me anticipate the dastardly plan Korean had in store for them. After acquainting themselves with each other and the manor, they were led to a cemetery where Korean made her grand entrance. They were all competing for a prize pot of up to $100,000, but there was an added element. Every time a traitor is unmasked, $10,000 will be added to the prize pot, an extra incentive to catching traitors. I know this was something a few viewers wanted to be added as an element to the game. As I'm slowly working my way through all the versions, this is the first one I've seen which has done so. If you've seen any that have, let me know in the comments. Because I don't know who most of them are, I didn't have any preference to who should be picked as a traitor, but I thought that one of the Big Brother alumni would be picked, maybe a Survivor player and one from the general public. Omar from Survivor, Natalie and Shaughnessy, both from the general public, were tapped by Karine. I was surprised there were two from the general public picked as traitors, but all was not what it seemed.
Guests, welcome to the Round Table, a hallowed place in my manor. This is where the traitors will be chosen. This is where the faithful will put each other on trial. Within these walls, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, Lord, help me.
You think you know everything, don't you?
Once the blindfolds were off, Karine shocked them and me by revealing those that were touched were actually faithful. Mind blown. That was a brilliant move by production to mislead us when she had actually touched a lot of players. It was also a brilliant move to catch the players unaware, as they would all have been looking at each other to see reactions before Karine dropped the bombshell. So it turned out that the actual traitors are Big Brother alumni Coco and Kevin. The conversations of suspicion started almost instantly, but Karine's twist had some guessing the reactions they saw. I don't know if it had anything to do with Kevin's appearance on Big Brother, but Omar was already on the Kevin is a traitor train. How interesting that Meredith might actually think that Charla might be a traitor, while simultaneously playing a little defense into why Charla might have been nervous at the table. Asphyr said that he's watched every episode of every season of every country, citing how hard it is to play the game. He's a super fan because I'm only halfway there. At the time of filming, I wondered how many that actually was because there's been a few more that have aired since. In another twist, the mission was linked to who would be up for murder. Whoever didn't make it before the mine exploded would be the ones up for murder. They were divided into teams and each team was on a boat solving something to help them unlock a combination so they can row to the next part of the mission. On the second part, someone from each team needed to remain while the others took the gold coins. If no one remained on the raft, then none from the team would be safe. Rhea, Coco and Shaughnessy volunteered from their respective teams. Team Physical didn't even pick up the gold after Shaughnessy sacrificed herself. What a big mistake to make. Because they went back for the gold but didn't make it back to Kareen in time, Ty, Dom and Curtis were up for murder. There were 2 teams that didn't even solve the first stage. Only Jericho, Mackenzie, Charla, Hollywood Jade, Thompson, Asphyr and Kevin were safe, and there was only $4,000 earned for the prize pot. Other than briefly getting distracted by trying to work out Meredith's wife, I also got a little distracted by Omar's shirt as I saw someone a week prior wearing the same one. Anyway, the twists kept coming. When Coco and Kevin sat down to read the secret envelope, I thought they might have to pick the 2 people up for murder as there were so many. I thought it might be a bit like a murder in plain sight. Instead, they needed to find each other and pick 2 players to become potential traitors. If they didn't find each other before the end of the night, they wouldn't be allowed to meet each other for that evening. They were given pendants to identify each other, but it didn't help that a lot of people were wearing necklaces. They did manage to meet each other thanks to Kevin with his pendant out. Coco and Kevin chose Ty and Venus. Kevin wanted Ty because there's heat on him, a sacrificial lamb as such. As Kareen was going through the ceremony with Coco and Kevin, my mind went back to what she said the previous night.
Tomorrow night, 2 of you will be back in this exact same spot, whether you want to be or not. At least one of you will have your name carved into this tombstone.
That's when it dawned on me that there wasn't going to be 2 additional traitors. The 2 picked were linked to what Kareen said. I couldn't help but shout, "I knew it!" at the TV. No one was with me, so I was just talking to myself. Kareen did warn them to listen to what she says. We were left wondering who was going to be a traitor and who was going to be murdered. I really enjoyed the first episode. The twists and turns had me on the edge of my seat. It was a great choice to mix things up. Though I think the added incentive of banking money when a traitor is banished might just see more traitor on traitor instances. At least the faithfuls won't try to concentrate on getting the mastermind traitor instead of the obvious one. I'm looking at you, Season 2 faithfuls. I can't wait to see how this season pans out and if there's more twists to come.